What up, what up, what up? We'll be starting shortly as we get Joel, Buhr, and Matt Smith on the line to go down some questions regarding doing the Bootcamp last year, what's the importance of capitalizing truly on any conference or business conference you go to. So stay tuned and be ready to walk everything up. Thank you guys. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. If you're getting in here right now, I see that there's a few of us already on the chat. We're just going to give it a couple minutes to get Matt prepared for everything on this side. I know Joel's in the wings ready to go. So excited to have everyone on the chat today or in the video. Obviously, if you haven't checked out the Undercover Billionaire Bootcamp website, right now is your time to get some information before we start. So just stay tuned. Give us 1 second as we get everything ready to go.
Good afternoon, y'all. How you guys doing today? We're just waiting for Matt now, aren't we?
Sorry about that, Joel. Yeah, I got Chavez with me. We're running everything in the back end of the tech, obviously. So I appreciate you jumping on today. We're just waiting on Matt to get in. How you doing today, man?
Doing fantastic.
Oh, man. Yeah, I see we're getting people jumping into the chat here. Chris Zahoric joining us.
We got ET. We got ET from California. Chris, good to see you.
I appreciate it.
We got a lot of folks. I'm sure we got a lot more jumping on right now as we here as well. So, excited. This is a fantastic event. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Fantastic event last year, and I know that there's so much effort and so many things going on behind the scenes right now this year. that it's going to be a phenomenal event. I was flipping through just the pictures from last year's mastermind side of this. So we had the event, of course, and the mastermind, and man, it's definitely something you don't want to miss the boot camp for, and you definitely want to try to see if you can make the mastermind happen as well.
Truly, exactly. Yeah, a lot of amazing things happening this year. A lot different than last year. Last year was our first year, obviously, the inaugural. So we're going to have just a much more evolved sense of what we need to do this year. So I think that if you were excited last year, it's even going to be better this year for everybody. So super excited.
100%. Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna jump on here for just 1 second and get Matt on here, and we'll get started. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Let's go. Okay, we got Chris in there. We got let's see here. Mark, how's it going? Already said hi to Danielle. In the chat here, how many put a 10x if you watched the show on Undercover Billionaire show. Put a 10x in the chat there, just to give us an idea how many people watched on Discovery Channel the Undercover Billionaire show itself. Just put a 10x. So we got Facebook, people watching on Facebook. We got people watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, all over. Awesome. Okay. And make sure, while we're waiting for Matt to join right now, make sure share this out. So share this out on LinkedIn, share this out on Facebook, share it out on YouTube, share it out on all those locations. Let's get the room full. Let's overload the interweb. So if you got WhatsApp, grab the link and share it there as well, and get this promoted out. So, I mean, the information, if you think about the information that was covered basically in the boot camp, there we go. We got Matt. He's coming on. He's doing that little sneak on entrance there. But the information that was covered on the boot camp, and basically it's bringing together what happened on the show. Like, what actually does it take to build a business from nothing to 5.5, 100% ET. Nothing to 5.5 in less than 90 days. Like, that information would help a lot of businesses, especially the year that we're heading into for some industries, some folks. This is invaluable information. It is critical information. So again, share this out. And if you've shared it once, share it again. There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Let's go, Joe! Shoot!
How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, sunshine. Let me turn this volume up a little bit here. Tech guy's on there. Joel, how you doing?
Doing
Big
fantastic.
Daddy Data.
Doing fantastic. Conquering the world.
You are the only guy that would have the book that's the human face of big data in the background.
That's 100%.
That's why they call you Data Daddy, right?
Well, that's what ET calls me. And maybe you, but maybe you can start a hashtag.
I like it. I like everything about it. I don't know if that's like top secret stuff. I better hide that away.
So there you go. You saw the top secret plans for the UBB 2024.
Taking over the UBB world right there. Hey, let's go to this stuff. I think the topic today was really going to be about the 10X community and being a part of that community, but not in coming to these events, right? I mean, it's
right.
Like, I got to tell you, like today, because of that event and because of meeting Gary Brecken, because of getting blood work, now we talk to a data guy that's going to build us data that's going to change my life and our entire team's life because you introduced me to somebody out there. And we're going to sell franchises to some guys in Texas that I met out there. I mean, just person after person, venture capitalists that are looking at doing some things with snooze.
Right.
But it's because we were there and because we stayed. You and I are the same way. When we go to these events, we stay after because we just want to try to meet there might be one more opportunity to meet somebody that's going to change our life or that we can change their life. So I think that's so important.
Right. No, and I think as you go to any business event, like that intentionality of why you're going, like you've got to if you don't normally flip the switch, you got to figure out what switch you're going to flip to stay in there and make best efforts. You never know you're one handshake away from the person that's going to change the trajectory of your life. So, I mean, that's you and I met, and that's, man, it's been a wild ride, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Amen. Yeah, you just showed up here randomly, and then like next thing you know, we've become great friends and business partners. And you know, we've been to the BVI several times. You got a captain's license. We went on Richard Branson's island, but it was just because you showed up.
Right.
You know.
Then the next thing I know, I'm like you said, I ended up on Richard Branson's island. I mean, imagine that, right? So those things don't happen by accident, right?
Yeah. Hey, from our last thing that we talked about on the Bootcamp. John Warden, I don't know if he's on here, John Warden, he sent me a message and he was like, a random thought after that. It's not enough to get in or be in the room. You have to engage, connect for anything to happen. Right. Getting in the room is the start, but if you just eat the hors d'oeuvres or just take a seat and watch the action, nothing will happen. That includes you. More later, wheels up. So that was huge. He's like, I was like, that's so beautifully said. You can't just get in the room. You got to do something about it.
Right. Yeah, I always tell folks, it's like you gotta, like when you're going to any room, like do your very best to be the first one that shows up and the last one that leaves. You gotta open it and close it. So again, it's in business today, if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to show up and show up all the way, and it's sometimes for some folks it's not comfortable. It used to be for me, a very uncomfortable thing. However, the rewards for what you get and the people you meet, the connections and the trajectory that it does change on your life, when you're intentional about that, like you said, like GrowthCon, right? The people the people that you meet there, it's just one more connection away that you wouldn't have gotten if you had not have gone.
Absolutely. Yeah. So tell me about that. So Joel, let's talk about that really quick. You're probably the best at getting in the room, but using that room to your advantage or to somebody else's advantage one way or another. And I remember asking you this year, I was like, did you buy a diamond ticket? And you were like, absolutely. Like the diamond ticket I buy a year in advance. It always pays for itself with the relationships that I build on there.
Right.
But I also know that like Grant Cardone, he goes into any room with a purpose and a strategy. He doesn't just randomly go in there and be like, I hope I meet somebody today. Like there's a strategy that you have in every room that you go into. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a lot of what I look for, and you're right. Like, so I on events like, for example, like Grant Cardone's 10X Growth Conference, I've been going to that for a while. I won't ever go not buying a diamond ticket. It's because it connects you to the people that are actually doing things. It doesn't mean that somebody that bought a different ticket's not doing things either, but it does typically bring you into certain rooms that other tickets just simply not going to get you in there. The intentionality that I always go for is there something of value that I can give somebody? So it's not about taking the value from the room. It's about what value can you add to the room, and sometimes, hey, sometimes you're observing, sometimes you're listening, and that observation, you can connect people, right? So maybe this person that I meet is not somebody that I can do business with directly, but there's somebody that you could business with, right? So me being observant and being intentional about adding value, that's a connection now I can make. I connected you with a good friend, Mike Ryan, and that's a connection that very possibly could change the direction for Snooze in a very positive way, right?
For sure.
So those types of things, if you can add value when you go into a room, that's what you should be looking at whenever you go into one of these rooms, because it'll always come back tenfold.
Oh yeah, no, I love that, and I agree, and I think that it's mutually beneficial too. Like I think we're gonna change Mike's direction and the things that he can do in life, and he's gonna change ours. So it's like this: you just got to get in the room and get two like-minded people that are trying to solve a problem together, or create a solution to something that might not even been a problem yet.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yes.
So when you go into a room, what do you look for?
I was just talking to Eric a little bit about this. It's funny because I probably could be more strategic about being in the room, but when I get in the room, I'm very strategic about who I'm talking to, and I'm very like, okay, how do I add value to them, or vice versa? And not to be rude, but like I think Grant taught us all, if there's not value on both sides of this, you got to at least be able to, if you only got 2 hours in a room, how do you maximize that for your family, or for your franchisees, or for your customers, or for your all your employees and your team members? Like, how do you maximize that time and not waste it? And it's not being rude when you know that you have to go to somebody that can help move your needle or you move their needle. Or if you're sitting there in a stagnant conversation that's about baseball or something that's not going to help move the needle, you didn't pay to get in that room to talk about baseball, you know?
Absolutely. So, so it's with those types of rooms. Sometimes you're going to always end up with that person, great human being. However, they're just not going to, like you said, move that needle forward. Right. So
yeah.
I think that's an important thing about being transparent as well. So if you, again, think about your intentionality of going into that room and how you're going to maximize it, you're going to stay on that objective. You know what you go to accomplish, what you got to accomplish. So
yeah, and getting different rooms. I think that's the other thing that I've learned, and I think you've taught me well, and Grant and everybody is like, you know, I went to a mattress convention with the Dos Marcos podcast in Bentonville, Arkansas, and you know, I got to surrounded by the biggest in the industry, the biggest minded in the mattress and furniture industry, and was able to kind of bring them into this room and see something, because every room is so unique and different. And I think that's probably with the Undercover Billionaire Bootcamp or the Wake Up Bootcamp, one of my favorite things, and is you couldn't get at a 10X event what you can get at this event here, because there's too much chaos and too much going on, where you got 150 people here. But we couldn't get out of our event what you can get out of Grant's. He's like the Super Bowl of like giant everything and excitement and energy. But sometimes you need to go to the smaller room, like, you know, next weekend, you know, our good friend Ken Josling's in Puerto Rico. And, you know, they've got 35 people out there, but some big players that are going to do some special things. And it's a different kind of room.
Right.
It's not the same 10X room, but I guarantee you all those people sleep and I can help them sleep. And I guarantee you some of them might be somebody with a franchise or somebody that I can compliment or they can compliment. So just getting in the room with intentions of being open-minded, I think is in different rooms. You know, you can't just be in the same 10X room all the time. You got to get in their other rooms.
Right. And I looking at those rooms, how do you decide what rooms you want to show up in? Is it by the speakers that are going to be in the room? Like at a business conference, you have speakers, or is it the style of event? Is it the type of event? What do you look for?
Yeah, I think there's several things. And I think probably one of the most important things in my life right now is, does it work around my family schedule? You know, because that's a challenge. I got a lot of babies at home, and that's a priority for me. So that's the first thing is, can I pull this off in my schedule? And then it's definitely like, who is it and what kind of value can I bring or they bring? And is it a different room? You know, is there somebody in there or something in there that I could definitely learn from that's not going to be the same room over and over? Because we've all done that too. If you've got a network that you got of 10 people that you show up every Wednesday and talk about business, those same 10 people a year later are going to probably have the same ideas. You know, you need to get into different rooms where you've got new ideas and innovations. And our commitment, and I think Eric's on there, but I think our commitment at Snooze Mattress is like, we don't want to be in the mattress rooms. We want to bring people from other industries to redefine and change the industry of sleep. And we're not going to do that by talking to people that have been doing this for 100 years. We got to do that by people like yourself that are like, what did you do here? The data guy we met today, what did they do in their other businesses that can bring that into this business, that can elevate the game, as opposed to, well, let's just do what they're doing over there and do the $200 off sale. And, you know, they're doing a good job with their deliveries and they're doing the same old. Let's just copy that. Right. Like you gotta get into the different rooms, I believe.
Well, it's what are those rooms I always think of too, is like, what's going to be in the room that's going to pull me forward. Right. Mm-hmm. I like, you know, you got to change, like what you're saying, change the room. So it's like, you don't want to just keep status quo and get stale. Like sometimes, unfortunately, in some industry rooms, like I don't go to a lot of industry events myself, specifically just my industry events, because I'm going to go to the connected events, the relatable events, right? Who knows what that could introduce me to? Something that's going to maybe be maybe even a stretch or uncomfortable, you know, or those types of things, or a completely different demographic of people. You never know how those people, even around the world, you know, a couple of years ago, I went to a good friend's event in Dubai, and
I want to go.
You know, and it's happening again this year. But the people that are going to be in this room, it's going to be easily well over 10 times larger, and it's going to be a whole different ball game of a room as far as people that are involved in business decisions and those types of things. So it's like those types of rooms, that's what I guess I look for as well. It's like, who are going to be there that can help me to even think bigger than where I'm at,
for sure,
and pull me forward.
And I think your side, tell me about, like, you go to a 10X event and you don't care who's speaking, but you care that there's going to be some people in these side events.
Yep.
Like you more care about the diamond parties and the diamond people, not because of a party and because you want to go see 50 Cent rap. You care because those are the people that you want to interact with, that you can make a difference.
100%. 100%. So it's the people. There's going to be some people I know are going to be there, right? And I want to reconnect with them. Maybe I didn't get a chance to connect well with them before. I want to reconnect with them. It's one of those things that I've definitely learned, especially at 10X events, is the more you show up in the room, right, the more people become curious about what is it that you do and what value you can add to them, because those are the same people doing the same thing. They're showing up, and they're pulling themselves forward. So people that are, for example, going to be at the Wake Up Undercover Billionaire Bootcamp, these are people that aren't just coming there to kick the tires or just spend an afternoon, right? They're not just trying to kill some time. They're trying to learn something as far as that'll help their business. And so when you get in rooms like this, you get connected with other business owners and other people that maybe they're going through some of the same challenges you are. And it's that one piece of information that you walk away with that now changes your business completely. And that's really, if you come to an event like this and you walk away with one piece that changes your business, maybe you got a $500,000 business, or you got $1 million business, or a $5 or $10 million business, and that adds another couple million to it, right? Or adds another 30%. Was that not worth it?
100%. And, and I think, to your point, if anybody's out there watching this thing right there, you text that to that.
There you go.
Get some tickets, because we got some special things going on, and I don't know where we're on the sold out platform, but we only have 150 tickets to sell, and we sold a lot of tickets already. So this will be a very private event, a very small event. And if you're looking to get hands-on conversations to level up your business in every aspect, I think they'll be talking about relationships. There will be talks about your marketing side of it, how to scale your business, how to go from 0 to 5.5 in 42 days, how to really, hire and fire, and just every part of a business. And probably to me, the favorite is like how to enjoy the process, because it's a challenge, and there's always so much chaos going on there. So, Grant Cardone said it best on the stage 2 weeks ago, or last week, or whenever that was. It was, he spent $11 million on that event, and he usually loses money. People that put on events don't do this to make money. It's really to get in the room and put the right people together. We put us on an event, and I can't tell you how many headaches it is to put on this event, and the hours and countless hours of our team putting this together. We could do something a whole lot easier to break even than this, but we do this because we truly want to bring people together. We want to elevate our brand. We want to elevate other people's brands, and we want to get those people inside of the room. So, and we want to continue to learn, we've committed to having a smaller room and bringing the right people to continue to level that up. But just truth be told, the price of these tickets is unbelievably cheap. It's us giving you a free ticket to be here. There's going to be a lot included in that, but it is like, there is not money to be made. It is really about bringing the right people into this room. And let's talk a little bit about who's in the room. Like, who's coming to this event? You got some heavy hitters out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you that's your list. I'm going to let you share the list. So, I know you'll be there.
We got Sage Brecken's probably going to be speaking. Right. I think we got some Gary. I think we've got the man right over here. We got Michael and Brecken's going to be there. I'm actually doing a podcast with him ASAP in the next 3 days, but I'm going to stop it there. We got some other big hitters that are going to be in there, but they'll be every part of your life and your business. Even if you're not in the business game, I guarantee you there is some things here that can change your life outside of that.
Well, and you talked about, like, what are, again, if you were to break down like the key areas that this event's going to cover for people, because that way they know. We talked about obviously it's a business event, so we're going to talk about business, but we're going to talk about family too, relationship, right?
100%.
Why is that important in this?
Because I believe that nothing else matters if you don't protect the most important things in life, and I think we all believe that. The people that in our circle is very family first. And without support of your family, and without you supporting your family, none of this is worth it, nor can you really do it. You really have to balance that out. So we'll have a lot of speakers, including myself and my wife, my wife is my soulmate. That woman walks on water, but it's still work. And there's strategies involved in relationships to make sure that you fall deeper in love every single day and that you make that work. And there's strategies of her supporting me in the business and me supporting her as a mom, and vice versa, her supporting me as a dad and me supporting her as EXP. So there's so many strategies that we've learned involved in that. And I think that's one of the things you'll learn differently about these events is that it's smaller. So you'll get breakout groups and you'll be able to be vulnerable and you'll be able to talk about successes and what has happened. And there's no doubt I'll learn a lot from other people out there as well. But so there'll be the business side of it, which will be, what do we do from 0 to 5.5 million? And what do we do from 5.5 million to where we're at right now? And it's a bigger number than 5.5 million. And it's really what strategies have we used since then and what chaos was developed after then because of the growth of to the speed of implementation. And then what was in there, and then how do we tighten those systems? So creating the systems for scalability in your business, the systems for scalability in your family, systems for scalability in your relationship. I believe everything on top of that. Drop the question. Oh, there's a host that said that. I was like, what's something that did that? I was like, what just took my eyes away from
up there? Yeah.
But anyway, and then there's the marketing aspect, which I know you're one of the best in the world at that, and really understanding marketing, because so many businesses don't understand it. So they either don't do it or they just pee a bunch of money into the wind and nothing comes back. And there's strategies to get in between that to figure that out, because don't stop marketing, and then hiring the right people. There's strategies inside of making sure you bring in the culture and you keep that culture inside of your business, and then scale. You got to tighten it before you can scale. And there's breaking points, as Grant Cardone and Brandon say better than anybody, and being prepared for those on a smaller scale, but understanding the business side of where we're at and what we've learned from it. And then we're bringing in health coaches like the Gary and Sage Breckas. So this will be a very well-rounded, small event. Come one, come all. Well, only 150 people.
Yeah, the first 150.
That's it. What do you tell us? You've been to a lot of events. Why Wake Up Bootcamp here?
Why Wake Up Bootcamp? It's because it's at events like this where you actually get that information, like what we're talking about here. How do you scale your business? How do you go from nothing? Like if you're a business owner that right now you're starting off, you're trying to figure something out, right? It's how now to the next break point that you're aiming for. Right. What's the real world information and the real world challenges, and how have other business owners gotten through that? And if they've been successful at that, which we have. So if that information would be valuable to you, what would that value be to you? Right. So what are those challenges, and how do you structure these things? How do you build process? How do you build team around that? Because not everybody should be in your environment. Right. I've learned that definitely the hard way. There's certain people we should have never had in our environment. There's certain people we should have gotten exit out of our environment, environment earlier when they became a toxic person to that direction of where we're trying to go, what we're trying to accomplish for everybody. Mm-hmm. So, and then the relationship, like how do you balance all of this? Because it's not an easy thing, especially if you're building a business, starting a business, and you have family too. That is, that is one of those things that's not worth losing in the journey. And so how do you keep it all together? And that's a different job by itself. And so having all that information, I mean, it makes something that what entrepreneurs are trying to do today, what they're doing today, it's what makes it possible, having the right information like this.
For sure. Yeah. And being that it's a 2 or 3 day event or 2.5 day event, like you get time with everybody. That's not normal in normal events. When Joel gets up there and blows your mind, when you're done with it, you can go ask him those questions that you're like, I didn't get that part, or how did he do this? Or how do we do business together? Do you know somebody in this? Like, there's connections, contacts equal contracts, but the connections to me is probably one of the most beautiful things. Is I got friends for life in this because of these boot camps. And beyond that, like we've all leveled each other up. You level me up every single day, and I hope that we're teaching you a thing or two here. And I think together, that's always the goal. So the bottom line is, if you haven't bought your ticket, get in the room. There's inexpensive tickets. We will have breakout dinners. We'll have breakout sessions throughout every single day. We'll have morning sessions. We'll have 9:05 meetings where there will be energy of you just screaming and being excited and a way to start your day. We might have some VIP ice baths at my house because Gary Brecken taught me the Wim Hof breathing, and some VIP ice bathing. There might be there's a lot of different unique things that you're going to find out at this event that you won't get at any other event. And probably the most favorite is you'll have a lot of this. Like there's just be a lot of one-on-one time. And some big players, Michael Unbroken has got an unbelievable story. And you got to get in that room to hear what this guy's done. And if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does.
Yeah, amazing individual. The challenges he's been through, and I guess that's the other thing about why people need to be in the room, be at an event like this. It's you see what's possible,
right?
And you see what's possible and how much more you gain than versus what you think you might lose by pushing forward and stretching forward. It's the right information. It's dangerous to do it out there without the right information, and you become lethal with the right information. So, 100%.
Yeah, and I think like my good friend John Warden said, if he's on this or if he's seeing this at all, I believe it's one thing to get in the room, and I like how he said it. That's just the appetizer, but you got to get in the room and you got to use it. Don't come in here and be the guy in the corner. Like we're gonna force a little bit of fun out of everybody, but just some collaboration. What you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Amazing things happen, and we're looking forward to it. I know you guys will be releasing who the speakers are and what the content's going to be in more detail. But regardless, it's going to give you the information that's going to take you through 2023 and beyond.
Yep, absolutely. What's your next event coming up between those? I know you got something else going on, Joel. What else are you doing?
Between that, there might be a couple 10X events that I end up at, and there might be actually a last minute a trip internationally here to for another event. So we'll see. We'll see.
Nice. All right. Well, proximity, Christopher, that's the man right there. Proximity. We learned a lot from that guy. There's no doubt in my mind. That guy taught us a lot, and hopefully we'll see you here. What's it, next month? I guess a month and a half. Whatever. We'll see you here in a couple months. But yeah. Christopher, appreciate that. Who else is out there? Oh, he's put it out there. All right, so we're finishing this off. This was set for 30 minutes. We're keeping it at 30 minutes, and that's what we're doing right now. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, I know Gabe's giving some little bit extra special that we wouldn't normally do except right now. So get your tickets, get in the VIP side of it, get in some of the exclusive ice baths, because if you've never understood what an ice bath is, it'll blow your mind on how this can have years to your life and give you stupid energy when you wake up. You just feel like this. Wake up and like, no, let's go, Dave. Let's go.
Absolutely. All right, Matt, I appreciate it, and I look forward to it.
Hey, Gabe.
Gentlemen, you guys are the best. Thank you for joining.
Close it down. Inspire us, Gabe.
Obviously, if you haven't bought your tickets for the Undercover Billionaire Bootcamp or the Wake Up Business Bootcamp, you need to get your tickets if you want to experience what it's like to really get into what the strategies are that Matt and Grant took a business from $0 to 5.5 in under 42 days. In about 42 days, if you want to experience what it's like to have an intimate conversations with amazing marketing teams, amazing people who are built to really inspire and create profit for you, then this is where you need to be. Right now, we're going to be offering a discount on all of our tickets. So if you want to get a premier ticket, we're going to be offering $300 off of that ticket right now for the next 24 hours. So if you get the early bird in, then you're going to get a big discount off. So excited to see everybody there. Guys, I appreciate you joining us today. It was an amazing conversation. I'm hoping everybody learned a lot. I know that we did. So just excited to see you guys in April.
Let's go. Hey, I'm going to finish this with a story about getting in the room. Last night, my son had basketball practice, and I locked my keys inside of my office. And as you can see behind me, there's spackle all over this door right here because I had to get in the room so bad that I kicked the damn door in, and I got in this room, and my son was at basketball practice. So all I'm saying is you need to kick the door down and get in this room because these tickets are going to sell fast. Let's go.
Is exactly right. And he really did that.
I did that.
Josiah's out there fixing it right now. Yeah, so that's Matt. So if you want to have that dynamic energy in your life, we'll see you in April. Joel, thank you so much for joining in today.
You betcha. You betcha. We'll even get a door for Matt to kick down.
Yeah, honestly, it could be something that we just feature. We're going to have a door for everybody to kick in. It's part of the initiation.
That sounds like a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. So appreciate you guys. I look forward to this. It's going to be a phenomenal event. And if you, again, haven't bought your tickets, buy those tickets now. Exactly. Make sure you don't delay.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to leave the video running for everybody so you can catch a little bit of the recap for the time being. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys in April. Thank you.